Another thing that the woke right likes to do is say, oh, you guys are so focused on race, 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 race. I'm like, yeah, you created this thing. Your ancestors created this thing. Y'all created these race classifications, not us. The one drop rule protected the purity of the white category. Who was practicing racial purity? They were. They claim we so racist. No, you come from a racist past. And I'm not here to denigrate you for it. I'm just correcting your rhetoric. Nothing wrong with wanting to be white. U.S. reclassification of Afro-Indigenous peoples. This is where shit is about to get dark. No Negro Indians, census policy, late 19th century. It says here there was no single formally titled No Negro Indians policy. What existed was a systemic, multi-layered apparatus of census instructions, enrollment practices, and state-level vital records, policies that functionally achieved the same result. The administrative elimination of mixed race Black indigenous identity from official records. Census enumerator instructions, the mechanism. Census classification was never based on self-identification in this era. Enumerators decided your race by looking at you. By looking at you. 1870. Racial categories available: white, Black, mulatto, Chinese, Indian. Treatment of mixed Black Indian ancestry. First census to include Indian as a category. Only assimilated Indians counted. Enumerator discretion ruled. Basically, the white man had just pointed you out and said what you is. 1880, same as 1870, as far as categories. Mulatto used as a catch-all for any perceptible trace of African blood. Mixed race, Black Indian people, typically recorded as mulatto or Black. 1890, we now get white, Black, mulatto, quadroon, octoroon. Congress mandated tracking fractional Black blood. They were obsessed with race. These people were obsessed with race that they came up with fractional Black blood. The one drop principle hardened. Any perceived African ancestry pushed you into the Black, mulatto, quadroon, octoroon column. Nearly all 1890 records destroyed in the 1921 fire. In 1900, we get white, Black, Chinese, Japanese, and Indian. Quadroon and octoroon are now dropped. They're like, nah, we can't have this shit. We going back to the old ways. The binary simplified. You were either B or IN, as in Black or Indian. And if the enumerator saw African features, you were B, period. You was Black, period. Indian was treated as cultural political category, tied to tribal affiliation, habits of life, assimilation status. While Black Negro was treated as a biological category governed by the one drop rule. The one drop rule always won when the two categories collided. Number two, the Dawes Rolls. This is what a lot of us know about. Separation by design. When the Dawes Commission enrolled the 5 civilized tribes, Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, and Seminole for land allotment, it created 2 separate rolls. By blood rolls and freedmen rolls. For those classified as Indian by ancestry, this is for blood. For those classified as Indian ancestry, assigned a blood quantum. Freedom rolls. For formerly enslaved people and their descendants, assigned no quantum blood whatsoever. This meant that a person with both African and indigenous ancestry, even someone who was culturally, linguistically, and genealogically Cherokee, was placed on the freedman roll if the enrollment agent perceived African ancestry. That means the white man just looked at you and said, you is what I say you is. They received no Indian blood designation. Their descendants were then permanently locked out of blood quantum-based tribal citizenship requirements that were later adopted. The practical effect: an entire population of Black Indians was administratively converted into freedmen. People defined solely by their former enslaved status, with their indigenous identity erased from federal record. Number 3, Virginia's paper genocide. Dr. Walter Ashby Plecker, Virginia's registrar of vital statistics 1912 to 1946, took administrative erasure to its logical endpoint under the Racial Integrity Act of 1924. He declared that no true Native Americans remained in Virginia. All were mixed-blooded Negroes. He retroactively altered birth certificates, marriage licenses, and death records, changing Indian to colored. I'm telling you, these FBAs and woke right are the same team. They're all white supremacists. He wrote threatening letters to local clerks ordering them to refuse Indian classifications. He compiled lists of surnames he considered mixed and circulated them to registrars statewide. This was paper genocide, the destruction of a people's documented existence without a single shot fired. Virginia tribes were unable to gain federal recognition until 2018 because their records had been systematically falsified. Number 4, the structural logic. The system operated on a clear hierarchy of erasure. White plus Indian could remain Indian or become white via assimilation. White plus black always classified as black, one drop rule. Black plus Indian always classified black. One drop rule trumps Indian status. This wasn't accidental. It served several overlapping policy goals. Land seizure. Fewer Indians meant fewer treaty obligations and land claims. Racial boundary maintenance. The one drop rule protected the purity of the white category. Labor control. Classifying people as Negro subjected them to what? Jim Crow restrictions, vagrancy laws, and exploitable labor regimes. Tribal dissolution. Reducing the count of Indians justified termination era policies and defunding of tribal services.